All right, game lab number 32, another round with functions. We're going to practice this again in getting ready for our big game design project. You'll have a link to some code on Google Classroom for this Epic Race, and I'm going to use the one called Epic Race Movie Demo right here. By the way, there's a handout all posted on Google Classroom that has all of the requirements and everything that I'm going to be doing in this movie. I'm going to be creating two different functions, and really they're going to be very similar, so probably some copy and paste involved in that. So let's go to work here. I'm going to bring up the movie demo version of this. Let's take a look at what we've got for right now. If I run the program, you've got a red car and a blue car that are racing against one another, and there is a finish line drawn. If I were to do show grid, that finish line is sitting at about, if you look at the X value of the finish line, it's over 350. So the finish line is at 350. That's going to be kind of a magic number. We're going to see who gets there first. I'll turn the grid back off here. And the velocities are set to be kind of random. That's why it's a little bit choppy, because they go a little faster, slower. You just never know as it works its way across which car is going to go faster. So what we're going to do is write some routines to check to see who won. All right, and so let's take a look at how this is done. Remember, functions, when you create a function, it has a job. It's supposed to do something for you. In the previous assignment, we wrote functions to control a paddle or to check and see if the ball went off the edge of the screen. What we're going to do in this one is we're going to check the red car to see if it got to the finish line. And if it did, we're going to stop the race and say that the red car won. And we're also going to write one that will check the blue car and see if it got to the finish line. Whichever one happens first, it should be the winner. All right, so let's go to work on this. This all starts by going to the functions drawer, and we're going to bring over the my function, the big old block that says my function. I'm going to drop it down below the draw loop down here. And I'm going to call this first one check red. Now, you can name it whatever you want, but you just have to pay attention to the name because it is important. All right, now, to check the red car, and this is all documented on the handout for you here. If you were to look at the handout, we have to set up a kind of a condition to check to see if red.x is greater than 350, because that means it got to the finish line. All right, so let's hop back over there. So that's going to be an if block. We'll bring that over, and I'm going to check to see. And the red car is just called red, so I'm going to say if red.x is greater than 350. That is our condition that we're checking. So now let's think about all the things that we would like to have happen if that's true. First of all, I want both cars to stop. If one of the cars gets to the finish line, I want both cars to stop. So I'm going to go to sprites, and I'm going to bring over a velocity x, and I'm going to say red velocity x equals 0. And I'm going to bring over another velocity x, and I'm going to say blue velocity x equals 0. That's going to stop the cars. All right. Now, I think what I'm also going to do, if the red one gets there, if this checks and the red one gets there first, I'm going to make the blue car disappear. Now that would be, this is where it gets into a little personal choice, but I'm going to bring over a dot visible, a sprite dot visible, and if the red car gets there first, I'm going to say blue dot visible, and you can either put the word false or you can put the number 0 in there, and that will take care of that. And now, what I want to do now is just kind of pop in a little bit of text information to see, to say like red wins, something like that. All right, so that's all going to be in the drawing drawer, and I think I'll set a fill color of black. No, let's set a fill color to match the car. So I'll set a fill color of red. I'm going to use a text size of about 40. I'm going to use a text font of monospace. I like the way the monospace font looks. I'll bring over a text string, and I'm going to say red wins. And I'm going to have that be over about 75 and down 200. That's my plan. All right. So this function is called check red, and again, what it should do is if the red car gets past 350, the red car stops, the blue car stops, the blue car disappears, and we get a message that says red wins. All right, now let's think this through. I want to do the same thing for the blue car. Okay. Doesn't it make sense that I could take that entire function and I could, again, this is a time where if you're going to do some similar code, you might as well copy and paste it. So if I come in here and I just marquee in and get that whole function, I'm going to copy it, make sure my cursor's sitting where I want. I'm going to paste it and roll this up a little bit. Now I'm going to have to edit that. All right, this is going to be if blue is greater than 350. Then I want to stop both cars. I want to take the red car and make it go invisible. I'm going to change my fill color to blue to match the car. And this is not going to say red wins in here. This is going to say blue wins. So really, the two functions that we're writing, and notice they're separate. Don't put them in, inside the same set of brackets. And you can't. If somebody says, "Well, can't you do it in one function?" No, that's not going to work. I don't think so. Not that I know of. So I've got a function called check red, and I got to change the function name too. That's right. Ooh, got to do that. So this is going to have to be check blue. Can't have two functions with the same name. All right, so the function name here has to change. So I've got a check red and a check blue, and I've got them all set. Now remember that if you create a function, you have to, up here inside the draw loop, all right, the draw loop's up here. Inside the draw loop, I have to bring over that third block down. I'm going to need two of them. I don't think it matters much where you drop them in there. You just kind of get them in there. And this is going to be, we're going to do, get up in the right place. We're going to do check red. And we're going to do check blue. Not capital there, though. All right, now, see, I did use a capital R and a capital B when I named my functions down there, so I have to make sure that all of that matches. So I'm calling my functions right there, check red, check blue, and whichever one happens first. And it's possible we could have a tie. I think it's possible we could have a tie, but whichever one happens first, that should be the winner. Well, you know what? I think this is done. I've called my functions. I have my functions written. Let's reset this and run it, and let's see how we do. Boom. Oh, see, that was a tie. According to the computer, they both crossed at the same time. And, with a little extra programming, you could probably... So I've discovered that when I run this program as it is, excuse me, I'm getting both text messages every time. It doesn't matter which car actually crosses the line first. I'm getting both red wins and blue wins. And I figured out why. It's an order thing. Sometimes you just have to trial and error a little bit. So I'm going to take my check red. I mentioned earlier that I didn't think it made any difference where you put these. I think it does. The check red and check blue are going to need to go after these random velocities right here. So I'm going to just change their order a little bit. So heads up on that. When you do yours, you'll probably want your function calls to be after these red velocity X and blue velocity X. You're going to want them to be after. Let's see how that does. All right, so here we go. Boom. Red wins. All right, let's run it again. Boom, red wins. Red is touching the line first. Oh, that was a tie. That one was a tie. Let's see if blue ever gets a win. Red wins again. Boy, I feel sorry for blue. Blue is getting annihilated. Come on, blue. Nope, red wins again. Oh, blue's got him. Nope, red won. Look at that. All right. It's just luck of the draw, I believe. I'm a little bit surprised that blue, oh, there's a tie right there. Blue wins and red wins. Blue finally won. I feel better for blue. The random numbers finally smiled in the blue's favor. All right, look at that. There we go. And 2 wins in a row for blue. So randomness is bearing out here a little bit, and blue is finally winning some races. So again, be a little bit careful about the order of those function calls right there. They're going to have to come after the red velocity X and the blue velocity X. But here's the trick right here. We got to check red function and we got to check blue function, and they're very similar. And they're checking to see if the car has crossed the finish line, and if it has, we are doing things like stopping the cars, making the opponent invisible, getting some text on there with a winning message. And here it is. Red's going to win that one. Red won that one. All right, so you get the idea. That's the kind of thing that we're shooting for right there. Does blue get another win? No, red comes through at the end. I'm just having too much fun playing with it now. Got to get out of here. Bye. See you later.